The next item on the agenda is public hearings. We have a public hearing this evening to receive comments regarding amendment of the zoning ordinance of the city of Glen, sections 155.16 through 155.19, as pertains to the minimum setback requirements for carports and accessory buildings. This public hearing is opened at 5:36 p.m. and I would ask at this time that Mr. Heath give a quick summary of the issue and the amendment and the impact that it will have.
Okay, I'm going to read what was put on the City Council agenda action form. It's short. The City Council met on December 12th, considered these proposed changes to the zoning ordinance. Their recommendation was to write the proposed changes into the ordinance with specific numbers and not use the general reference to the International Residential Code, using that as a guideline. The numbers that are changed are written in red to aid discussion, which we will see in a moment. Next slide, please. Now, one of the ideas behind this ordinance is to allow more liberality in the setting of small structures in the rear of a property, not in the front yard, not in the little narrow side yards, but in the rear area. So if you have a large side yard, you have more freedom and liberty on these, and of course the rear yard. The next picture, the gentleman that has the next slide, please. 407 Hereford Street, the gentleman that spoke, and he's here tonight, he'll probably say a word or two, had bought a shed that was 20 by 20, a carport. He has 3 expensive motorcycles and several vehicles. Up and down the street, you'll see a lot of carports that are very close to fence lines. Right next door, there's one that's close across the street, different areas. Looking at our ordinance as is, there's no adjustment or movement of any kind that would make this work, except to move it completely back and bang into the house and keep it 7 feet off the side. When we look at this, probably with a little bit of the adjustments to stay off the house, move back to where his little porch is there, pour a little bit of extra concrete and move the carport over. It's a non-burnable. It works with the fire code, it works with the neighborhood, and it would work really anywhere in the city and not be a problem. Let's go to the next slide. You have this in your packet, but you can see the proposed changes. In the original document, where it says 3 feet, it says 15. That's a highly unusual number. I've only seen it one other place. That's a separation from the structure, the primary structure. That one rule is probably the most important thing in the desire for this amendment change. The second number down below, you'll see where it says no closer than 5 feet to the rear lot line. Now, a lot of times you'll have an alley or you'll have an easement in the back and you'll have fence line to fence line. If you have that scenario, generally those setbacks are designed from the center of the alley or easement, center of the alley back toward the property. And so whatever setback you have, you can't build in an easement, you can't build in an alley, but it allows you to tuck up closer if you have those, that type of format. And of course, another most important thing is the small structures, which the IRC defines as 200 square feet. The IRC defines as 200 square feet, and that's something could be adjusted or less may be placed anywhere in the rear half of the lot. And that's all I've got for now.
All right. Are there any members of the public who would like to come forward and provide their comments regarding this matter? Yes, sir. Please come to the podium, state your full name and address for the record.
My name's Bob Riggs, 407 Hereford Street here in Glen Road. And when I did this, I didn't know nothing about the rules or nothing like that. But I need it, and it's gonna make it look good there, because it's not gonna be halfway done. It's gonna be done by a professional.
So you're in favor of this action?
Yes, ma'am.
Any other citizens care to step forward and comment? Okay, there being no further comments from the public at this time, the public hearing is closed at 5:41.